Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Peace and blessings be upon everyone. This is the Caliph Podcast, and I'm Khairul Solihin here, host for the Caliph Podcast, and we are on episode 006. And I'm here today, invited by this lovely lady to her house. And how are you? Assalamualaikum. How are you?
Waalaikumsalam. I'm good, thank you.
Yeah. So, for those who don't know you, out there who don't know you, maybe you just want to introduce yourself. What do you do? What are you all about and stuff like that?
What I am about?
Yeah.
That will take you 20 hours maybe. Okay. So basically, my name is Zai, better known as Zai Miztiq. I've been running a Miztiq International the last 4 years. It's a motivational training company, and how it started is very interesting, something I'll be sharing with you. So what I've done is I've written 2 books called Turn Your Passion into Profits and 5 Things I Love About Being a Woman.
These are the books, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
these are the books. Self-published. I didn't want to depend or wait on any publisher, so I said, I'm going to do this. I have the calling and the inspiration and the talent. Let's do it. Gathered some talents together, we did it. So Alhamdulillah, through the books, I moved into speaking, and then people wanted more, so we ran trainings, workshops, and then it became coaching, mentoring, and now starting with just women. I realized our boys need help too. So I work with youth, and then then suddenly I'm put in a space where I'm talking to parents as well. So we run a motivational talk for parents called Resilient, Confident Parents.
Okay.
Raise confident, compassionate children.
Wow.
And that is one of the best things that I've ever done in my life. And if there's one thing I need to do ever, is this, to support parents, because we work with their inner childhood, work with their past childhood trauma, and then make them realize what are they programming their children, our present and our future generation with. Yeah.
Wow. So much going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a step back, all the way back. Like before everything, I heard you had a very bad accident before. So before that, even before that, what were you doing before that? Who you are?
So I graduated from Nanyang Poly. Was the president of a makeup club in school. So I was doing a lot of makeup. I was introduced to henna art. I did a lot of part-time modeling and stuff. And with the henna art, I didn't know that. At first, I didn't know I had a talent. So like my cousin came one day, she brought the henna art and the designs. I was like, Zai, draw for me. Then I'm like, really? Okay lah. You know, someone trusted you and gave their hands. Like, thank you very much. So I tried, and it worked. And she liked it, and she even paid me for it.
That was during your school days?
Yes, during poly days. That's why
what course are you taking?
I studied international business and majored in HR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I never worked in an office. Only 3 months during my attachment, and then I'm like, I'm not going to sell my soul to the devils and kill my creativity. I cannot do that. So that's when I thought I should take the path less traveled, right? So then I was doing henna, and I met a friend who said, hey, why don't you bring henna art to Japan? So before I turned 21, I actually went to Japan. Supposed to be a 2-week stay to do henna and stuff. Kali I stayed there for like 6 months.
Okay.
I was doing henna art, teaching henna art.
After NYP?
After I graduated. I didn't drop out. I'm not a dropout case.
Okay, so so instead of going to university or work, you did that. Henna to Japan.
Right. So my mom wanted me to pursue my degree, of course, in business, and I'm like, Mom, I'm ready to start a business.
Okay.
That's what I told her. But I still went to the uni to do whatever tests, and I'm like, Mom, I didn't make it, just to make her happy. But I didn't actually sit for the test.
Oh, you said,
yeah.
White lies there.
Rebel with the cause. Terpaksa.
But why you didn't want to?
Because I already knew I had passion. I knew I could make money from it, and I'm
through henna.
Through henna, through my passion. And another thing was, my mom was like, she's like literally a single mom, and I didn't want to pressure her to earn money to pay for my degree. And I knew I didn't need a degree in business at that time, because I like alternative healing, alternative medicine and stuff. So I thought I will pay for my own degree when I'm ready. And Alhamdulillah, like right now, I just graduated from my school of positive psychology. So I pursued my studies in psychotherapy and counseling.
I see.
And I intend to pursue my study in degree in psychology and also take up Islamic psychology course.
Wow.
There is something called Islamic psychology.
Yeah,
Can you imagine?
Yes.
But it's a very small market, not existent in Asia. So if I do it, I'll probably be one of the first ones who are doing it.
Right now, so you took the counseling, is it?
Psychotherapy and counseling.
That is a certificate.
Yeah, it's a grad dip.
A grad dip, alright.
So with that, I'm going to pursue my degree and then pursue this Islamic.
To go?
I have no idea yet, but I know next year in Cambridge Muslim college or something in the UK, there is this program called Islamic Psychotherapy and Counseling something, like a certification, which is good and intro to what I want to do and see if this is it. And I like one thing that they teach called the HEART method, HEART. So it's called Healthy Emotions Anchoring Rasulullah's Teaching. And I'm like, I want to do this. I want to do this. This is it. Like so aligned to what I want and I believe in. So alhamdulillah lah, there is a solution inshallah for the people.
Okay. So after Japan.
So back to Japan. This is present again. I'm so in the present. Okay, so back to Japan. So after Japan, I fell in love with Japan because I was interviewed by Tokyo FM magazines more, and we like got really popular there. Imagine 2 weeks became a 6-month stay. How would we get supported?
So henna wasn't even introduced in Japan.
Very, very, very new concept.
I see.
I think
then
some
they
people know and they loved it.
Henna on your hands.
Totally.
Japanese.
Yeah, they loved it because whenever they see tattoos, it is related to the Yakuzas, the gangsters. So when they found henna as a temporary tattoo, it was heaven on earth.
I see.
So that's how we made a lot of money, and they wanted to learn. I had a lot of couples learning it.
Okay.
It was like a couple bonding thing.
So first you went there for service and then you went there to teach workshops.
It happened. Yeah, they wanted to learn. I'm like, okay, let's do it. So that's how we make money and sustain ourselves.
How old were you back then?
I remember celebrating my 21st in Japan.
21st in Japan.
Yes.
Wow.
It was so fun.
Going
Very
places.
fun. Very fun.
Okay.
It was really fun, alhamdulillah. But then so when I came back, I knew I wanted to set up something in Japan and all. But the moment you come back to Singapore with that kind of status, you became a foreign talent. So the media picked up our story. We were interviewed by Berita, the papers and all. So it's like we brought henna art to Japan. So we became too famous here that we couldn't travel. So we had like henna art bookings for 2 years in advance for bridal, then corporate events, and then of course not just henna, we moved to body art, nail art, face painting, body painting, all that stuff. So
at
like
21 you're already...
I started my business,
Wow.
literally. I had my company at 21.
Okay,
So it was called Miztiq Henna and Body Art then.
Okay.
Kan, lepas tu, so after the henna journey for 2-3 years, that was then when I was 25, April 2005, that's when the accident took place.
Okay.
So I met with an accident, fractured, dislocated my spine. Doctor said I will never be able to walk anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. I have now 8 screws, 2 metal rods on my back.
Inside.
Right now. Yes, it's in there. And it was bad because I really thought I had to learn how to walk again. And imagine I used to model.
Yeah.
And then suddenly the doctors was like, okay, get up, walk. And I'm like, how to walk? I literally asked the nurses beside me, how do I walk? And they went like, you have to swing your hips and walk. I'm like, oh, thanks for that info. But it was crazy. So
how did the accident happen actually?
I was in a car. It hit the back of an army trailer, and then thank God I was wearing my belt. If not, I would have been thrown out. The driver nothing happened. No, I was a pillion. The back. I was in a cab actually.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Uncle taxi fell asleep. Taxi uncle fell asleep. Yeah, he fell asleep. Hit the accelerator. Hit the back of a trailer.
So he was okay?
He was okay. He had a cut here. I broke my spine. My friend had like some tendon torn and she didn't break any bones. Thank God.
Your friend.
Yeah. So then anyway, then picked myself up, went for physio and stuff. A year into the accident was I think my awakening. So that whole year I was in denial, I think. And I was like, so whatever.
In bed.
Yeah, in bed, learning how to walk again and just I was chilling a lot, I think. But a year into the accident was when I started questioning myself, like, how come I didn't die in the accident? What's my purpose? And I started questioning all of that.
Self-doubt and self-actualization.
Yeah, self-doubt, self-actualization, and I like, why didn't I just die? Like,
what happened during your business at that time? You stopped everything.
Everything
Just
stopped.
stopped.
Of course.
Okay.
But thank God I had friends who I do the henna art business with, because I had bridal booking, remember, in advance.
Yeah. So how?
So some of them, the brides were fine. They were like, okay, if I send my artist. There are other who insist, no, I want you to come. Then I with my cars, and I go lah. I just do maybe the hands, or I just sit with them. At least I be present, because I have to honor that
the
contract, right?
Yep.
So that is it lah. You have to honor the contract lah. But some people are like, I don't care. I actually booked this because I want you to come. I'm like, okay lah, I come lah. So I just maybe do the hands, and then the artist will do the legs and stuff. And they just want me there, right? I said okay. So that's when I learned that you cannot be in the business. You need to be on the business. So that means if you don't exist, the things still need to run. If you already make a promise and a contract. So that was something I learned along the way. And then again to the accident, I asked myself, victim or victor? I have a choice. So that's the magic question. Do you want to be a victim or you want to be victor for life? You have to keep asking yourself that all the time, in every level, at every level. Yeah. So when I ask myself, I say, okay, victorious, what do I do next? So I said, if I cannot go out to work, what can I bring back to start something from home? That was when I was at that time.
Still not strong yet.
Not strong. The iman also very weak. But at that time was when I started seeking God. Because my purpose, right, I was questioning, God, kenapa aku tak mati? Like, why didn't I die? And blah, blah, blah. So there was a lot of conversation with God at that time. That was also a very huge turning point. I wouldn't say the accident helped me with the hijrah. But that 1 year anniversary, I call it my rebirth day, was the awakening. That I'm like, yeah, maybe I should look for God. And ironically, 22 April, the same date as the accident, 2006, was my first Tauhid class in Darul Arkam. It's called The Search for Allah. So what I always feel is, if God already gave you a lot of signs to take a break, run back to Him, and you don't, He have to pull the jam brake, and that's why He broke my spine. So He pulled me back by the collar and say, hey, come back to me. And
that's
that was
how you look at it. That's good.
That's how I see it. And it's painful, bitter, sweet truth, but I'm glad it happened lah. Alhamdulillah.
How did the recovery went?
Alhamdulillah, like the bones heal and stuff. I went through a lot of
So the doctor said you can be paralyzed, but
yeah, I know, right?
What happened?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Paralyzed to walking again. I think it was a lot of willpower, alhamdulillah, and of course God's miracle. And I think I got sick and tired of being sitting down. I cannot. I cannot. So I said, okay, I'm going to try to walk. It never, what the doctor said never bothered me really. I think it's
like
the
doctor can say anything, but
what he said didn't really bother me. I think I'm like, if I'm going to try lah, if I cannot, I will just sit down again lah. What can happen? So I think that's what I have been all along. So they call it a post-trauma growth. Apparently, there's a term.
Wow. Okay.
PTSD is post-trauma stress disorder, and then there's this post-trauma growth. I'm like, okay, cool. I embrace that. So
is there any pain right now in your body with all the screws and metals? And
right now I'm okay, but like kalau
where is the main place that is the spine?
Yeah, it's on the spine.
The spine. Okay.
Yeah, it's on the spine.
You broke your spine.
Fractured and dislocated.
Okay. Alright.
Fracture and it was a dislocation, and I can send you pictures of the before and after the operation. You can put it up on your, you can insert it into your YouTube video.
Alright.
So after victim to victor and then searching for Allah, and that was also when I was inspired to wear the hijab.
Alright.
But I want to wear the hijab without looking like an auntie, right? I still want to look classy and model, kan? So I travel. Alhamdulillah, I got a chance to travel. I was in Jordan.
So you recovered, you traveled.
Syria, where? London, Cyprus, Syria, and I found some hijab fashion. That's when I brought back some fashion, and I thought, hey, why don't I just share it on my Facebook? And this was 12 years ago, I think. And it worked. Like my first 5 minutes, I had people asking, hey, can we buy this? Like I make money. So I was like, oh, okay, I can sell things online. That's when I started my Miztiq Shopee, the online business. So that ran for about 3 to 5 years. I saved money. I got bored, and then I said, okay, now what's next? And I was inspired also then during one of the Ramadan to learn Arabic. So one day I read the Quran in Surah Taubah. It says, Ya ayyuhalladina amanu hajaru wa jahadu fi sabilillah bi amwalihim wa anfusihim wa azamu darajatan indallah wa ulaika humul faizun. Which means literally Allah said, go and travel and hajaru wa and jihad fi sabilillah, right? With in person and with your money. And I'm like, okay, God is asking me to travel again because I love traveling, and I use that as the okay, God is asking me to travel, thank you. And it was such a good decision because alhamdulillah, when I intended, I said I want to learn Arabic, I just had to reverse psychology my mom and tell her, Mom, every bismillah that I recite, you will get pahala, no mak. So if I read Arabic and learn Arabic, you will get a lot of reward, right? So yeah, that's how I psyched her to allow me to travel. It worked, for your info. So you can try that reverse psychology technique. Right. So I went. I was in Jordan. Then I went to Morocco, and the last destination was Yemen for about 2 years. So I learned Arabic. Of course, more than learning just culture and people and languages, I learned so much about myself too. So in that journey, it was very powerful, especially when in Yemen, I learned how simple and strategic actually Islam is. Why did we men complicate it? Kenapa? Why did we make it so difficult? It's just so, like if you use the siwak, it's ahsan min sabi'in rakaat. It's better than 70 rakaat of prayers. If you use the siwak before praying 2 rakaat, you get more than 70 rakaat. Like, why weren't we taught all this? Why were we taught that, oh, if you don't pray, you will go to hell. If you do this, you will all the negative thing, and it makes us hate versus love. So that's why I got inspired to come up with this hate and love model. So moving from hate to love is HATE, is feeling helpless, anxious, terrorized or trapped and empty. To love, whereby you feel liberated, optimistic, victorious with empathy.
That's all from you.
Yeah, I came out with that model. It's in my books. Yeah, I came out with that model. Then, so when I came back to Singapore, alhamdulillah, I was invited to do translation work for Channel News Asia. I was invited to teach Arabic in SMU business school, Arabic conversation, not just to the Muslims, like to even the Chinese.
For 2 years, your Arabic is already up there.
Yeah, that time I should have taken my O levels. Right now, it's a bit rusty, but it's still there, I'm sure, right? Like when I read the Quran and Hadith, like I understand and I'm happy, alhamdulillah.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, so when I came back, so I was doing henna, I was teaching Arabic, I was selling my hijab stuff, but last week in Yemen, I felt like there was something else I could do more, not just these things. What else? So that was when I made dua, I asked Allah, what is it? Show me, you know, before I go back, because I left the country for a reason. I cannot go back like that. So that was when God said, serving God is in serving His creation.
True.
That was the thing that came. Yeah, serving God is in serving His creation. So when I got that and I understood that, I said, okay, that's what I want to do when I go back to Singapore.
So
how do I start, right? What do? I didn't know. And then when I came back, people started asking me, how do you travel? How do you pick yourself up from the accident? How do you start your business? Blah, 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 blah. And I had this magic phone call on my Facebook. This lady, she called me and she went, Zai, she wrote to me, she went, Zai, can I speak to you? And I'm like, sure. Then I called her. Within 10 minutes, she went like, Zai, thanks for speaking to me. I was just thinking of committing suicide and I feel better now.
My goodness.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, of course I didn't okay lah. I was like, oh sis, you know, I was trying to like pacify her and all that, and she was okay. But when I hung up, I'm like, okay, there's something else I need to do. This is one person reaching out to me. Who else out there needs what help? I don't know. So that's when I got inspired to write the book. I thought money was the problem. I said, okay, I teach people how to turn passion to profits because that's what I've been doing since 9 years old actually. Yeah, like I used to make bookmarks at school and sell it to my friends before lah, since 9. So I said, I can do that, so why not? Yeah, it was fun. And then a year into 2 years later, I think, slowly is money it, you know, like is the solution? I don't think so. So that's when I realized,
just pay bills and die, right?
You don't just pay bills. It doesn't. It's not even the solution, the money thing. So what is it that is really bothering people?
Yeah.
So it's about confidence. It's about self-esteem, and
True.
I realized that we don't love
A lot of
ourselves.
people struggle with that.
Yeah, we don't love ourselves enough. And right now I'm working on this podcast content for a UK production house
Sure.
for Ultimate Marriage Muslim Guide. And why are people even fear to be married? Like I'm studying that, and it's something that I have to deal with too, because
Yeah.
I am commitment phobia,
Okay.
and it's called gamophobia, fear of marriage.
Really?
Yeah, there is a
Gamophobia.
term, and I'm like,
Okay.
oh my god, that's me. I'm cool. Like, so then I realized, oh, I have commitment phobia, and also why. So I delve deep into myself and question, oh, is it a childhood thing? Is it because I don't see role model marriages? Like, how do I get into one without
True.
a success story or a happy story? But everyone have their own journey. That's what I learned. Everyone, they can be going that way, couples, but ultimately it's their journey back to Allah and how
Yeah.
they deal with it.
Yeah.
And well, I'm growing up in that area of my life. I'm learning about relationship and stuff, but yeah, so going back to this about self-love, I think there's this thing that I came up with, art of love, which is ART, for you to appreciate, respect and trust yourself first. Because we always expect my spouse don't appreciate me, my children, my colleagues don't respect me, people, I have trust issues. But do you truly appreciate yourself? Do you truly respect yourself? Do you truly trust yourself? The answer is no.
Yeah.
We don't even honor the meal that we order. Sometimes I go out with my friend and they're like, order whatever lah, I will just
Yeah.
eat whatever lah. So my life is whatever lah, right? And then I realized, no, I have to take the menu. I have to take that personal responsibility, be conscious and order what I want and honor that meal. That's me honoring myself too. And it was a very hard exercise. So then it became a gym. I had to exercise that muscle to make it, be more aware of it. And yeah, so basically,
Wow. Travel a lot here and there. Okay, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
So after the accident, so much going on in your life.
Yeah.
You went back to your passion. You traveled here and there. Aren't you pressured, or aren't you influenced around by your friends who already settled down, getting married, who got a full-time job, you know, all this kind of society standards and stuff like that? Are you bothered with that? Like, when people look at you, it's like, this
what the
girl
hell is
just
she
came
doing,
back,
right?
she just traveled here and there, you know?
Yeah. I get that a lot.
How you get that?
Yeah, so that's a very legit question,
Yeah.
because everyone who sees me is like, so where are you traveling next? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't have things planned, but things just fall into place. And okay, back to that pressure thing. You need to know what you value and what you believe in. I don't believe in being succumbed to the norms of the others. Because personally, I love my lifestyle. I love my peace and my freedom. But having just lost my mom, I'm also understanding the need for a companion and that feeling lonely, which I never felt before. I love my alone time. So there's a difference between alone time versus feeling lonely, because there are people who are married and have children who feel lonely in a relationship.
Right.
Then I'm like, oh, okay, so what am I experiencing? So I recheck with myself lah, what is it that makes me happy? Because there are many people out there. I think what helped me balance out that pressure would be, I have like multi-millionaire mentors. And stuff, like I hang out, I have someone who I know is a sheikh from Dubai who's a multi-billionaire, and when I hang out with them, they are normal people and they are inspired by me.
Really? Wow.
So I'm like, oh, okay,
You're
wow,
a billionaire, you're
wow,
inspired by me.
wow, they are inspired by me. I must be doing something right lah, right? So that's how it validates what I'm doing. But I think everyone has their own, I call it the divine timing and divine intervention. So yeah, don't be pressured by whatever is happening. Like I'm pressured now because last weekend my niece had a wedding, and I'm like, oh my god, that was the most beautiful wedding. Like, fairy tale wedding. But can I deal with the rest of the everything that comes along with it? I have to be realistic too. So you need to know. One thing I recently learned, this beautiful dua, I wish it goes out to the world, is, Ya Allah, you know what I need. and I want what you want. This is my latest mantra. Allah, you know what I need, and I want what you want, because what I want is going to be dangerous for me maybe or for others. But I want what Allah wants me to do in this short span of time that I'm here, so that I don't waste my time. I don't waste my life. So whenever I want to make any next step, of course I have to take action. I don't just wait and hope for magic to happen, right? So we were talking about deen, ambition, and ambition with deen. You need to have that, but you need to know how much is enough. You need to know it's okay not to be okay. You need to embrace moment by moment and live life. I think that is so important.
Wow. Beautiful.
Goosebumps.
All right. Okay, I want to talk about your book.
Sure.
How does this come about? Do you know that you have the talent to write, or how does this came about?
Okay, this first book, Turn Your Passion to Profit, is a Ramadan book. It's so mad. Like, so the chapters of Turn Your Passion to Profits are 5 chapters.
This is the first book.
Yeah, and you'll be so amazed. I think I have to share the story, and I haven't shared this to anyone before, not on like interview like that. So it's called The Formula of Truth, where you think, reflect, understand, take action, and heal others. Before you heal others, you have to heal yourself.
True.
So how did I come up with the Formula of Truth was the book is 4 years old, but I had the Formula of Truth maybe 10 years ago. So every Ramadan there's a live TV1 Malaysia channel has a live what is that thing called? What's Tarawih prayers in Mecca from Masjid Haramain.
They live stream.
The live stream, right? So when I watched that live one of the days, because my strategy was in the day I read the Quran. At the time I don't understand Arabic, so at night I will watch that one whole like 2 hours of Tarawih because there's the subtitles in English. So I read in the day and I understand in the evening lah. So that was my strategy. So one of the evenings that I was watching it, I don't know why Allah like kept repeating and saying, "Afala tufakirun, don't you think? Then don't you reflect? Then ta'malun, don't you take action?" And And at the end of that 2 hours, I went to my table and I wrote, you have to think and reflect and understand and take action. And then there was Afala tashkurun, don't you give thanks also? But I didn't write thanks there. But somehow I came up with the Formula of Truth, which spelled TRUTH, and think, reflect, understand, take action, heal others. And that became the 5 chapters of the book.
Wow.
And now this Formula of Truth is also modules in my trainings. I use it in a lot of my talks, and it's a model that I share with people, and it's inspired by the Quran.
Wow.
Jadi whoever who don't read the Quran, rugi. It's your loss.
That's why.
And who would have thought? Yeah, mashallah, seriously.
So with that, you wrote a book, and so you just like break it down.
Yeah, break it down. So like, okay, turning passion to profits, life, right? Think about it. Think. What do you need to think? Okay, think. Where are you right now? Then reflect. What was your past like? So you just float. And people take years to write books. I took like 3 months and to get everything up and about.
Wow, and you self-publish yourself.
Yeah, self-publish.
And mostly it's on Amazon.
No, the ebooks are on Amazon. The rest were, so my first part, this is version 2. The first version, I printed 100 copies. Within 3 weeks, we were all sold out on my Facebook. I didn't thought, you know, when you want to write something, you're like, who will read my book, right? But this was inspired after that magic phone call. The lady who wanted to commit suicide. So I was like, okay, let's do something and just bring the message out to the world lah. Let's see who will help. I flew like to Australia, Malaysia, Japan, far, UK, I don't know, to many parts of the world. Like within 3 weeks, 100 copies were sold out. And I just finished my 1000th copy, and this is the last copy that you're holding actually. I just got it from my friend yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The last copy, maybe I should bid it to the highest bidder.
This is the 1000th.
The 1000th copy actually.
Okay.
Interesting.
Are you planning to?
Yeah, reprint. Of course, I want to reprint. I have a version 3 coming up, a new cover.
Where can people get this?
Through me on Facebook, Instagram, through my website, or
and you do
I have
the shipping
the
and everything yourself.
Yeah, we do it ourselves.
Okay.
So far, so good. Yeah.
So this is so far the best response?
I wouldn't say the best because I only have 2 books. Both are doing well.
Okay.
Yeah. But I love the story of the first book, of course,
Yeah,
because
it's
of the
more-
formula of truth. But then the second one also, like I said, had to come about because I realized that what I learned in the psychological world is a child's confidence is being built or broken between the age of 5 to 12 years old. How old are we now? Past 12 years old.
Yeah, there's
So
nothing much we can do
literally,
already.
you can. There's a way to repair it. That's why people like me come about.
Okay.
But the thing is, what are we feeding our children today, the younger generation?
Correct.
What could we have prevented as adults? The language patterning, our own belief system, our own values. How do we repair this situation?
Do you think, I want to ask you a question. Do you think parents today, they are busy working, like both? Does that contribute to the factor where they are not they are absent during the 5 to 12 years old? Do you think that can contribute?
I think, of course, parents are working, but
Especially
my
in our
mom wasn't
context.
working. So, being present can mean 2 people sitting together, reading book, and being quiet and being present.
Yeah.
That is presence.
True.
It doesn't mean I have to keep talking and instilling ideas and beliefs and stuff into my child and boring the kid out. You know what I mean? So, whenever you have, I wouldn't say you cannot go to work, but whenever you have the opportunity to be
Time.
together, that quality time, how do we maximize it?
Correct.
Are we just tak apalah budak ni
Let's
very
throw-
naughty,
let's throw the
just give the
phone.
gadget or
Yeah,
okay
yeah.
go out, go to the
Yeah.
playground. And I think this is what is happening. Everyone's just so busy masking their life, masking their pain, masking all our insecurities, our fear,
Yep.
pretending that everything is
True.
okay
Just
when
filter
nothing is
everything.
okay, and filtering, and we are not being authentic. We are not even living authentically. And the sad thing is, we pray, but we are not even in presence, right?
Wow. Yep.
We are not present in our
Yep.
prayers. Astaghfirullah, but
Yep.
this is the truth.
Yep.
So how is the state of our prayer? Is the state of our life and our lifestyle and people around us. So it all starts with, before you even, like when I was learning in Yemen, before you even take your wudu, did you make doa when you went into the toilet? Did you make istinja after you went to use the toilet? Did you make your niyat before you take the wudu? All this process is the
Slowly,
process to how you are actually in presence, in the present of what truly matters. But how is the state of our presence today? We talk about mindful breathing, mindful eating, mindful whatever, but we are not even mindful of our own presence.
Correct.
And that is so sick. It's something we need to wake up to lah. What is all this mask? It's tiring. Stop it. Please don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think whatever you achieve right now, do you think you can achieve it the same if you did not meet with the accident?
If I didn't meet with the
Yeah.
accident, I think life would be very different.
Yeah.
I cannot thank God enough for the accident. Really, syukur. Because I cannot imagine how screwed up my life would be if I didn't have these screws, literally. I think it would be very different. Yeah, I don't think I would have found God so soon. I don't even want to imagine. I'm scared to imagine, really. Yeah.
The thing about you, right, that makes me amazed is that whatever you do is all linked to Quran and God.
Alhamdulillah,
This is
inshallah.
very inspiring. Like most of the people I met, like they some of them yes, but some of them just do they do their concepts are based on whatever they think is right, stuff like that. But what with you is that wow.
Alhamdulillah.
Everything is
like you, what? You just doing the same thing.
No. Okay, let's talk about Miztiq International. What is it about, Miztiq International?
Yeah, as I said, it's a motivational training company. So it's been around 4 years.
How does it start? Like after this book?
I think I started it. No, when I printed the first book, it was already Miztiq International. Yeah, so it's a private limited. And what do you want to know for it?
What makes you want to be in this training or workshop industry?
I think that magic phone call happened for me to okay, I suddenly like got thrown into this. It's not like I even planned it. And I also see a lot of coaches, speakers out there. I don't want to judge people, but again, a lot of people have so much of talents, but you are telling them a certain idea to be bought into selling a certain kind of product or their ideas versus helping you hone your talent, your skill, your passion to grow. And I think a lot of people are just following versus working inside out, and that's where I think I'm different and I help people with
your workshop and stuff like that. So,
through my coaching, like there's this thing called the 3D system that I came up with. I got a lot of models and systems, easy to remember, right? So it's called diagnosing your strengths and identity, then desire check, aligning your purpose with meaning. And how I do it differently is there's 7 goals normally in the normal world, but I added travel goals and akhirat goals.
Travel goals and akhirat goals.
Akhirat goals, like whoever thought of that, right? Akhirat
what does
goals.
it mean by akhirat goals?
Like my akhirat goal will be, I want when I meet Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, inshallah, he actually recognizes me and introduces me to his friends and say, oh, this is the girl who tried very hard. Maybe she's a failure, but she tried hard. Like, yeah, that's one of my goals. And to meet Fatimah Zahra, inshallah. And
I see.
Yeah, inshallah.
So
now I want to cry. Yeah, and there's this dua of Asya radiyallahu anha, the wife of Pharaoh, which says, Rabbi ibni li indaka baitan fil jannah. That Allah built for me a house with you in Jannah. Indaka, with you. Built for me a house with you. Indaka, with you in Jannah. So yeah, this is the kind of goals I think we are not even thinking about sayang, and then we are like chasing.
Right.
Then look at all the celebrities, they have everything but they are committing suicide because there's this lack of Islam and Iman in them, which we are so blessed with. And I'm not saying that I don't have my empty moments or lonely moments or sad moments. I just struggled 2 days ago. I was crying because I miss my mom so much. And yeah, you cry, you embrace that emotion and you move forward, because with every pain, actually Allah is blessing you to turn that pain into power, right? And move forward, because there is something that Allah has created you for. We are all created for a purpose, not in vain. If you are a chef, I mean, you can be in any kind of restaurant or whatever, it may sell liquor or whatever, but you need to know what is your true intention. And even like for myself, I'm putting myself out there, and my friends like, oh my god, Zai, you are like, you know that soccer player Muhammad Salala or don't know what, right? His name, mashallah. And my friend in Dubai says, Zai, you know, you remind me of him so much. I'm like, huh? Why? I'm like, wow, why? Right? Yeah, because she said that wherever I go, most of the time I'm the only hijabi, and I'm like that light among the non-Muslims, and she's like, you are representing us all. And I'm like, wow, so nice to hear. And even him, like, I remember there was a match whereby it was Ramadan. They actually stopped during Maghrib because they know he was having, who was fasting, to stop for his iftar during a match. Yeah, I didn't know. She told me, I'm like, wow, okay, cool, I buy that. So yeah, there are many times I feel like quitting. I'm like, oh my god, ya Allah, am I doing the right thing? I question. So they say making intentions, you question your intention at the beginning, at the middle, at the end. It's a hadith. So just keep going lah. Inshallah.
Let's talk about your late mom. You just spoke just now. May Allah grant her Jannah.
Ameen. Ameen.
How has she impacted your
my life?
All this while.
Oh my god.
So you've been staying with her all the time?
Yeah.
Like just
I was caregiving her for the longest time. Sometimes she say I'm like her mother. So I'm the mother to my mother. Yes. So she says that. And how she has impacted my life. I think she's one woman who doesn't complain. She doesn't sigh. I've never seen her cry. That just rhymed. Yeah.
Wow.
And really, and the only I think the only time I actually saw her cry once was 4 years ago when my dad passed. And last September when she was sitting here, I remember there was a red sofa, and she said, Mak tak takut, I'm not afraid to die, or if I go to the hospital, or whatever, but I'm so afraid to leave you. And she cried. I thought that was so heartbreaking, but and that was so wow. I mean, and now like even after her passing, I'm comfortable. I feel like she's one woman who honored the title of motherhood, because oh my god, I didn't know I was going to cry, but yeah, she honored the title of motherhood, and she raised us all, 6 of us, so well. And even after her passing, I feel taken care of, and I don't have to worry about anything. If I don't want to do work, I can. I'm fine. Like that is true motherhood. And she never stepped into a school a single day of her life. She never worked in outside a single day in her life. She speaks 6 languages.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing.
How do you, because you travel a lot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How do you leave her alone?
We have helper, right?
Okay.
And I have other siblings too. And that time she's much stronger. But I always feel like I've always been her pillar of support. Vice versa. Both of us were a support system for each other. Like, yeah.
How has she passed away changed your goals and your vision, like for now? Yeah.
A lot. Like when I visit her at the grave and I just look at that plot of land, I'm like, what? This is life? Really? Like you work so hard all of your life for this, but it's not true, because she had us and we are her living legacy, right? And but how it changed, I think, well, I literally feel like my life came to a standstill when I knew she was diagnosed cancer. So that was 30 months ago. And I felt like my life came to a standstill then, and I only realize it now. So, but I also know that I can restart life. I'm on a blank slate. If today I decide to just go work for McDonald's or at Starbucks, I won't work for Starbucks. I don't like their coffee. Maybe McCafe. Shouldn't mention brands, but yeah. Please change your coffee, Starbucks. Like really. Okay, so yeah, if I wanted to do anything, I could restart my life, and I have the permission to reset my life, and I know that. Yeah, that is how I take it moment by moment.
How do you have this strong mindset, man? Like, wow, you've been through so much. And,
yeah. The funny thing was, I thought my life came to a standstill 6 months before she passed, last October. But no, I realized that it came to a standstill 30 months ago. That's why when I met my friends who's like doing what I do, coaching and stuff, I'm like, dude, you know, I feel like this emptiness, stillness, and macam kosong, you know. I felt like, I remember asked, do I have brain stroke? Like, I don't care, like I'm an author or whatever, like everything just cleared from me. It's like, what was it? I didn't understand. That time my mom was still okay, but she was diagnosed. We actually did Umrah. I took her to Shah Alam. We went to our spa vacation, travel and everything. But there was always this, I think my only objective when I found out was, I want her to be happy, comfortable and pain-free. That was the only thing in my head. Nothing else mattered at the time. So I was like living motion. I mean, I graduated from my psychotherapy and counseling. I lived life. Everything was emotion, but without the E. And I realized that E isn't about emotions, it's about the energy. And as I spoke to my friend just now, it's really by the will of Allah Ya Aziz Ya Qawi Ya Matin. It's through His strength and His Qudrat, because we do not move otherwise.
Right.
At all.
Right.
So sometimes when we take pride, we can take pride in what we do, honor what we do, but sometimes we give credit to the wrong people. It's Him.
True, very true.
Fil alamina innaka hamidum majid. But we want to be praised, everyone to be like, oh, I'm the king, like I'm God, like let's play God. Instead of letting go and letting God, we are like, oh, let's play God. And so wrong.
I think most of the people, you know, they feel that they can go through hardship, then after that once they reach a certain state, they feel that, you know, it's going to be there. Right? Like nothing will happen to them.
No.
And then they don't know that life is still ups and downs. You can reach here, but then you, like yourself, you know, you
actually I heard a syarahan which is a very mind-blowing thing, which says ni'matnya musibah and musibahnya ni'mat.
Okay.
So the ni'mah of musibah, well, I don't know if I need to translate this, but ni'mat of musibah is whenever you have a disaster or something tragic happen, it's actually a favor from God. But when you receive a favor, maybe it's something disastrous for you. So for people who think, oh, I have it all, everything is fine, and that make you forget Allah, isn't that a disaster?
True.
But when you are in a moment where you feel like, oh, this is such a bad thing, I feel so lousy and everything, actually Allah is protecting you. And when you know that, also it gives you a lot of calmness in your heart. But of course, I'm not saying be lazy and be complacent about life. You move forward. Like when I had to caregive mom the last 6 months when she was really unwell and dependent on us, I said Allah is protecting me.
Yep.
Because maybe if I'm out there, I'm networking, I meet some man and I get into trouble, I do more haram, then maybe Allah, that is going to be a wrong thing. But Allah is protecting me and taking care of me in this time that I'm caring for my mom. What more can I ask for?
True.
So it's how we, jangan buruk sangka with Allah. Don't doubt Him.
Yeah.
Jangan buruk sangka ke Allah.
It's the best of planners, huh?
Yeah, jangan buruk sangka. We all very bad. We always doubt God.
Correct.
Criticize His plans.
When we never get something, we always feel like, oh, you know.
Yeah,
But actually, He's
tak
protecting
syukur.
us.
Yeah,
and stuff
He
like
is.
that,
It is a protection all the time. So
there's a reason behind it.
yeah, yep.
Okay. So with the passing of your late mom 5 months ago, what's your goal right now, 5-10 years down the road?
Oh, 5 years down the road. I don't know, man. Honestly, like I say, I'm on a blank slate right now, but I have 2 dreams. Maybe a third one just came up.
Sure. Share with
Oh
us.
God, you get the freshest story from my journal 3 days ago. So like, I want to focus on my global speaking because I think I have what it takes, and if I don't speak, who else should? Like, inshallah. And then the other thing is I plan to pursue my hijab modeling passion. So yeah, because I think we lack role models in that aspect, and fashion meets empowerment, that's one, and then that's 2, and then the other thing is, yeah, hopefully I find a kind and nice partner who supports my dream.
I mean, I pray for that.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
So that's the goal. If you ask me what, 5 to 10 years,
it's okay.
I think that can be 3 to 5 years. Don't wait too long. Come
so
on.
So you just add the last part?
The 3 to 5
the
years.
Last one, the last goal.
I wrote it. Yeah, recently. Recently, I never mentioned partner or the thought of, oh, let's settle down. Never. Only recently, Allah bukakan hati kita. So, insyaAllah. Okay, it's so embarrassing, but yeah, I'm just being honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
This video may reach to him, inshallah.
Yeah, who's my soulmate? Oh, bring it on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so you're a strong advocate for equality.
Equality
Is it?
for humanity. Yeah.
Why is it?
Equality for humanity. Yeah, isn't that what life is all about? Like, everyone should be given equal opportunities. There's no difference between me, you, or anyone in the world. We live and we will die, so why not equality for humanity? But the thing is, a lot of people speak about diversity, inclusion, but I think the equality for humanity part is something that we all need to work on. Whether you are Muslim or non-Muslim, wherever you travel to, or you're in your own country, I think everyone should be given that due appreciation, respect, and love and compassion. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, next question is, since you're a transformational trainer, right? Okay, what do you think the Muslim community lacks today, and maybe what are views to change that?
Muslim community, very big question. Well, I think in general, personally who am I to advise? But personally, I feel like there's a lot of ritual going on. Alhamdulillah, we pray, we go to the mosque, we gather and everything, but there's a lack of spirituality.
Right.
Then we talk about the issue of compassion. When we say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, most compassionate, most merciful, how truly compassionate are we about each other? I don't even know my neighbors. Most are Muslims. Whether they are Muslims or not, that doesn't even count, right? It's humanity again.
True.
But we are not having conversations. Maybe my neighbor's daughter is following me on Facebook, but I don't even know her Facebook name.
Yeah.
And so we're not, so the spirituality part, the compassion, the real conversation, being authentic, like hello, how are you?
Yes, yes.
And being able to say, actually I'm not fine. Do
Yes,
you have
yes.
5 minutes? Can I have a chat with you?
Yes.
Sometimes you don't even have that venue, or even if you have, you're afraid you're going to get judged.
True. Wow.
I think this is
It's very good.
something that all of us can back up on, even myself. Like, so when I meet people, like I truly ask, like, are you happy? I don't even ask how are you. And then I have people who are like any Nepali working in a restaurant, like, no, actually ma'am, I'm very upset, I miss my children. And he will cry, he will show me the pictures, and that will make his day. And to me, that means a lot.
Yeah,
You
just a
are
simple question.
simple,
of,
like, are you happy, like how's things, like but of course there is a twist to the plot, because when you're too kind, then people will start maybe taking advantage and everything. But again, we have the right to say no.
Yeah.
We have the boundary. Thank God we can block features and delete people, and that's all day. So why worry about being kind? Learn to be kind to ourselves, learn to appreciate, respect ourselves, and also mirror that upon others lah, inshallah. And if people are not kind, we also want to mirror, is it something that I'm not doing right? Why do we keep attracting that negative or that toxic or that danger or that kind of people? Because that mirror is within you. If it's not your present, sometimes I meet people macam, dia ni macam ni, then actually dia macam kau apa? Then I'm like, huh? What do you mean? You mean I'm like that? So I have a conversation with that person. Really, right now I'm on a project, like, and it helped me understand my 7-year-old self. So interesting, and I get to backtrack and I reflect on my life. And this is a journey I've been doing since 6-7 years now, to rediscover who I am truly. Why do I feel a certain way? Why am I always angry? Why am I confused? What am I running away from? So having conversations actually help you learn and grow. Not like, oh, have you gone to the market? Or what do you eat today?
Simple general questions.
Those questions are good, but it doesn't help you grow.
Correct.
So ask yourself, do you have that fixed mindset or the growth mindset? And
Carol Dweck.
yeah, fixed or growth mindset, and grow lah. Learn. And betulkan niat, insyaAllah.
Okay, very good, very good. So how do you plan to
betulkan my niat? No, what?
how do you plan to, reach out to your community to change this?
That through the Caliph Podcast. Through my Facebook page and my IGTV. I think beyond that, like I said, the runway to resilience. I'm very serious about this modeling thing that I want to do. It's something I'm very passionate about. I think people buy into form a lot versus substance. So if that's what you guys want, then we do it lah. To reach out to the people. Yeah.
Okay. What keeps you awake at night?
Very good question. The fact that I have to wake up for subuh, make sure I don't oversleep. I think what keeps me awake, as in like what bothers me, right? That's what is the question, right? What keeps me awake is the amount of work I need to do. But I just worry about what will happen to our next generation if we don't wake up today. So that keeps me awake. If we all don't wake up today, what will happen to our future generation? If we are not having conversations now, if we as adults are not working on our inner childhood and not repairing ourselves, and we need to end this vicious cycle of generational curse. Yeah.
Talk about that, generational curse.
A whole lot of curse. Sumpah yang tak habis. Yeah, but anyways, it's a vicious cycle of generational curse. What I mean is, let's say, for example, I see my mom and dad didn't have a good marriage, for example. They love each other. I am not right. It's an example. And then I believe that, oh, marriage is not meant for me because I don't want to end up like them. And it's such a bad thing. Like, oh my God, I don't want to have children because they don't even know how to raise kids. And all that drama goes on in my head. And then that gets poured on to maybe my nieces or people I meet. And I become the influencer who say, hey, don't get married, it's not good for you, like it's going to destroy the world and blah, 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 blah. So that is the vicious cycle of generational curse. Because of one man's mistake, it shouldn't affect my life. It shouldn't affect the decisions I make. It shouldn't stop me from living life as Allah has planned for me, or impede me from my growth, and that shouldn't go on to the next person. So that vicious cycle of generational curse to stop, we need to start being awakened. We need to wake up and take action, take personal responsibility, work on forgiveness, appreciation.
Wow.
Naam, betul. Syukur and istighfar. Syukur istighfar. That's why they say alhamdulillah, astaghfirullah, alhamdulillah. That's it, nothing else. And it's funny because Oprah Winfrey and Tony Robbins talk about appreciation, gratitude, and forgiveness and detoxifying, and we have the puasa and we have the syukur and the tawbah, and I'm like, you kidding me, bro? Like, I'm doing this.
True.
So we need to own it because we have to. It's
sometimes when we see all those Westerners, their concepts are all related to
and I'm like, this
religion,
is
right?
And that's why from my psychotherapy counseling class, I'm like, this is so Islamic.
Yes.
I'm like, goodness. So I searched Islamic psychology and there's a group doing it. I'm like, so I connected with them, the doctors and stuff. So I'm going to meet them next year in April.
Wow.
So
was that part of your goal also, Islamic psychology?
Yeah, of course.
Degree?
So ongoing studies. Yeah, of course.
Our next question is, what's your definition of a meaningful life?
A meaningful life, okay. I think doing things that's fun, and at the same time, it has to serve. Because it cannot just be fun for me, myself, and I. To me, meaningful life is, it has to be fun for me, but it has to have the servanthood, leadership idea behind it. That makes sense. Otherwise, it's just, just do for fun. So like, anything I do today, like as simple as my niece's birthday 2-3 days ago, I took her to high tea with my grannies, and to me that was so meaningful because we had quality time, and I know I made her really happy because she's married. Like, normally you are married and then like suddenly all the family's like, okay, you're done, bye. So I actually took her and her baby out, and we had a meaningful time together. And I think quality time, conversations, all these are very
like
meaningful.
You said, all of that.
Conversations, intellectual conversations, very meaningful.
Very good. Okay, any last parting words before we end?
I always say, step up and be the strong, soulful success you are meant to be. That has always been my mantra the last 4 years. But right now, at this present moment, I think it's so important for all of us to know it's okay not to be okay.
Right.
And embrace that emotion.
Embrace the imperfections.
Embrace that imperfection and know that you are insecure. You have flaws, and it's okay not to be okay, but it doesn't mean you have to be rock bottom all the time. Pick yourself up, do things that make you happy, and then work on your goals. Just busy yourself with that.
Exhaust yourself.
Literally.
Okay. Last question I like to ask everyone is that what's your definition of a great leader?
Definition of a great leader. I think it resonates with what I share. My latest training would be resilient, confident. When you're resilient and you're confident and you're also compassionate, I think that's so important. Because a lot of times I think a lot of leaders think I have to act a certain way and blah blah blah. You are resilient, but are you emotionally strong? Are you mentally strong? It's not just resilient as in command control, but being authentic, being compassionate, and that is true confidence.
Okay, beautiful. All right, we come to the end, and I just want to thank you for your time, for inviting us.
Thank you for making me cry.
And I'm going to take the last 1,000 votes.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding. All right, thank you so much.
Right, okay, thank you so much. Yes, this is amazing.
Bye-bye.
Wow.